Hi, I'm James McElroy with HOLT Cat, and today we're going to do a walk around on a 336 excavator. And this excavator would be typical of most of our medium-sized excavators. First and foremost, we want you to know if you have any issues with your Caterpillar rental machine, please reference this QR scan code or an 888 telephone number and contact us and we'll take care of all the issues. Thank you. Coming around the 336, behind here is your cab air filter. This is the filter for your air conditioner. If you're working in dusty environments, this is a as required maintenance on this filter. So if you're working in dusty environment, you're going to need to maintain these filters. Also, in the same note would be your engine air filter. In dusty environments, the customer is going to need to clean these on a regular basis to keep the machine running right. We have windshield washer fluid in here. Our batteries are in this compartment. We want to check them to make sure that they're bolted down, that they're not bouncing around in there. Our back compartment, our master switch is here, and we can check all of our cooling package and see if it needs cleaning. It'll be obvious if it does. If you have grass or debris stuck to it, we need to blow it off with air. Coming down here on our undercarriage, we want to check for loose tracks. If there's too much sag in between these rollers, they need adjustment. The adjustment point is right here. It's a grease fitting. And we need to check for loose bolts and loose fasteners on all these rollers down here and on our segments. Back here are our drive sprocket segments. Once inside the cab, you start the machine, move your control levers around to make sure that the machine is in the control pattern that you believe it to be in, and then you'll check your screen to make sure that your gauges are working and that you don't have any codes. And if you do have any codes on the screen, then contact the number on the QR decal and we'll get somebody out there to address those codes. On this side of the machine, we're going to check our hydraulic oil level sight glass. It's in this compartment here, and this decal shows us the position in which the boom should be in order to check the hydraulic oil. That would be with the stick straight down and the bucket flat on the ground. Also in here is a diesel fuel water separator. We can tell if we're getting water in our fuel and we can drain it. There's our pump compartment. For our machine, we need to check for leaks, general leaks and cleanliness of this compartment. Also in this compartment, we have a pump drive oil sight glass up here. We need to check that on a daily basis also. On this excavator, we have a hydraulic coupler, and it has a few extra grease points on it, and we need to inspect this coupler on a daily basis to make sure that it's in good condition. So we have a grease fitting on the side here, in which you're going to have to remove the bucket in order to get to, and this needs grease at least once a week. And then we have 4 grease fittings on the front that need daily grease, with addition to the normal grease fittings on an excavator. These are the grease fittings for the circle turntable on the excavator. Now these grease fittings only need to be serviced once every 250 hours. They're not a daily or a weekly grease point. So you can over-grease these. Leave these for 250-hour intervals. This is where we add the DEF on the excavators. You'll add DEF every time when you fill up with fuel. You fill up with DEF and you won't have any problems with running out of DEF. Okay, up on top of the machine, this is where we add the fuel. This is where we add our hydraulic oil if necessary. Up in here is where we're going to check our engine oil. Engine oil dipstick is right here, and this is the engine oil filled right here. They're color coded. Down here is the dipstick for the swing drive. Pull this dipstick, we should have oil on the bottom of the stick. These are some additional grease fittings for your boom, right here. On this side of the machine, we have our cab air filter. This filter should be serviced as required, depending on how dusty the environment that you're working in is. It's behind this door. You can pull them out and clean them, blow them out with air. In here is our engine air filter, which is the same way. It's serviced as required depending on how dusty your environment is. Down below it is the batteries. We want to check the batteries and make sure that they're bolted down and they're not jumping around in the compartment. Windshield washer fluid is in here. Coming back to our rear compartment, we have our master switch, our battery disconnect, our coolant checks in the jug up there, keep it above the add line, below the full line, and coolant checks engine off, cold engine. And then we have our coolant package here that we're going to want to inspect to make sure that it's not clogged. It doesn't get any grass or debris on it, and if so, we can blow it off with air is the best way to clean it.